Hi everyone, and I want to start out by saying Happy Easter. I know that I should have done a video yesterday. Unfortunately, I didn't. Mostly just because it was...
Hey, Easter weekend. Huh?
Yeah, Billy, you got it. But before I actually start this video, everyone here that follows me, watches my videos, should definitely go and check out the Two Dreadies. Their channel is amazing. It has great content. And if you go there, you can actually see our review of Godzilla vs. Kong, because we did a collaboration video where I was a guest on their channel and we reviewed that movie. So go to the Two Dreadies channel, subscribe, like that video, and watch our review. But let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So, as Khan would say,
now, shall we begin?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for today's main event, in our versus video, we have the Twilight Saga versus the 50 Shades Saga. Let's get ready to rumble.
I know what you are.
Say it. Because I'm 50 Shades of fucked up.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Movie Time with Chris. The channel devoted specifically to movies, movie birthdays, movie reviews, trailer discussions, box office predictions, and some special videos along the way. Now hey, if that sounds like something that you're into, if you love the movie reviews, if you want the trailer discussions, if you love to compete in box office predictions, if you just love movies, subscribe to this channel, because you're going to get all that content and then some. As mentioned, today we're going to be doing our versus video of Twilight Saga versus the 50 Shades Saga. So let's jump right into it. Both of these series of movies were based on books. The Twilight Saga written by Stephanie Meyer and the 50 Shades Saga written by E.L. James. The reason I wanted to compare these two together, kind of like the last versus video where both movies were kind of a coming of age story. This one, they're both series of movies based on books, and 50 Shades was actually like a fan fiction written by E.L. James about the Twilight Saga. So I felt no better way to compare these two than through this, because they're basically supposed to be the same movie. All right, so let's go ahead and just start assigning some points. Okay, so another tidbit about these movies and how similar they are, or at least the stories. They recently came out with the Twilight book, Midnight Sun, where it's essentially Twilight through Edward's eyes instead of Bella's. Well, they did a similar thing with Grey, which is 50 Shades of Grey through Christian's eyes instead of Anastasia. So basically a carbon copy of each other. That's what these are. But let's again go into assigning points. Right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and assign a point to 50 Shades of Grey, because they were targeting a specific audience, and I can't say it was so much controversial. I guess it could be because of the nature of the books and the fact that they went ahead and made this movie. But they were targeting a certain group and they hit that group, and, you know, I think they should just get a point for that. But overall, as far as movies in general, I'm going to go ahead and assign the point to the Twilight Saga. Overall, their movies were just better than the 50 Shades. And this is coming from my perspective. Again, this is all just my opinion. But I also found that the Twilight books were a much better read than the 50 Shades books. I did read all the books in both, so the 4 Twilight books and the 3 50 Shades books. And overall, I found the Twilight books were just, again, a better read than the 50 Shades books, especially 50 Shades Darker. I found myself more skimming through that book than actually reading it, just because the content was very repetitive throughout. So yeah, that's a point to Twilight for being a better read, and another point to Twilight for being overall better movies. I'm going to go ahead and give a third point to Twilight for the pacing. Going through their books and the story that they're telling of Bella transferring to Forks and going to school there, and then eventually, being with Edward through the rest of their years at school and then getting married. What you get in the books matched what you got in the movies, matched what you got in real timeline. Whereas, with the Twilight books, the Twilight movies, you got the first one in 2008, and they released a movie every year until 2012. So every year you got a new movie, and it was following the year process that you got in the books. So, she goes and she's a junior, and then all of a sudden next year she's a senior. So we have the next movie, and then she's, getting ready to graduate. It's the next year. So the timing, the pacing was just better for Twilight than I feel you got with the 50 Shades books. I feel like the 50 Shades books, it was like Anastasia goes and meets Christian, and then they're getting into this relationship. They break off, come back, get married, and it was very rushed, I felt. And you didn't get that with the Twilight. So the pacing of the Twilight movies I felt was better with comparison to the books than what you got with the 50 Shades. So that, again, gave another point to Twilight. Hey, guys. If you haven't taken a minute to subscribe, make sure you do that. It's free, takes 2 seconds, not even a minute, and it helps me out. So show some support, subscribe, and hit that like button. Now, let's give some points to 50 Shades. 50 Shades movies, overall, they spent less money than the Twilight movies. And as the studio looks at it, the less they can spend is better, because it's more money that they can keep in their pocket. So looking at it from a studio's perspective, we're going to give the point to 50 Shades for spending less money overall on their series. They also, I'm looking at my notes, my handy notebook. Also, with 50 Shades, we'll give them another point for spending less per movie if you average it out. And I'll go into those numbers in a minute, but I'm going to assign them their point now for overall spending less per movie. Because again, from a studio's perspective, if you can spend less, the studio gets to keep more. So that's a win in their book. So we're going to give another point to 50 Shades on that. And we're going to go ahead and say that it's an overall tie on this next batch of points that I'm giving, because both movies essentially made 10 times what they spent. So based on what they spent overall on their saga, overall, these series made essentially 10 times more than they spent. So that's a win for the studios overall. But I don't want to have a tie. So we're going to go ahead and give a winning point to Twilight, because Twilight overall made more money by $2 billion. $2 billion more overall in their saga than the 50 Shades. So to better understand these last few points that I gave, let's go out and go through the numbers. Let's throw these out and go through the numbers. We'll start with 50 Shades. 50 Shades saga, the 3 movies, had a budget overall of $150 million. So they spent $50 million per movie. They made, in total, $1,323,513,820 for the entire series, which comes out to $441,171,273.34 per movie, which again was less than what Twilight did. Twilight, overall, for their 5 movies, spent $385 million. But they had a worldwide gross of $3,359,900,753. So essentially, again, $2 billion more than what 50 Shades made. But when you break that down per movie, Twilight spent $77 million per movie. That's 27 more per movie than 50 Shades did. And but Twilight made $671,980,150.60 per movie. So we're going to go ahead and clearly say that the winner in this bout is Twilight. They were just better books. They were better movies. They made more money overall, $2 billion more than 50 Shades in a worldwide gross total. Their pacing was better. And that 5th point, which essentially was a tie between Twilight and 50 Shades, so I gave them both a point, they both made 10 times more. Again, Twilight spent $385 million and made $3.3 billion. So that is my versus video. Here we are just about at 14 minutes roughly. So that's my versus video for this week. It was 50 Shades versus Twilight. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you've read these books, if you've seen these movies, which one you prefer. Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, make sure you check out the Instagram, Movie Time with Chris, where you're going to get little snippets of everything that's going to come on the YouTube channel. Speaking of the YouTube channel, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and ring that bell, because you don't want to miss any future videos that are going to be on this channel. I'm on Twitter, so make sure you follow me there, Movie Time with C1, where you're going to get a heads up of everything that I'm going to be working on for the day for both the Instagram and the YouTube. I'm on Twitch, Movie Time with Chris, so make sure you follow me there, because I am going to be hosting a watch party of an Amazon movie, Amazon Prime. So make sure you follow me there, and we'll watch a movie together. Make sure you go to my blog, www.movietimewithchris.com, where you're going to get a more in-depth analysis of everything that I talk about here on the YouTube channel. Again, don't forget to go to the Two Dreadies. Check their channel out. Their content is very entertaining and amazing. And subscribe to their channel and like that last review that we did jointly of Godzilla vs. Kong. And lastly, if there's ever a topic that you want to hear about or a movie that you want me to review, email me, movietimewithchris@gmail.com. I'm going to check that email multiple times a day. I will not miss your message. And the topic you want to hear about will be in a future video on this channel. But until next time, stay safe, take care, and happy Easter.